Hey there, welcome to the Uplift. We got a great show for you, a great cast of characters as well. Among them, these, a barber faced with ugly graffiti near his shop and the unusual way he decided to fight it, and a heroic firefighter who helped a woman deliver a baby at home and then found herself in the same situation 2 years later. How she realized those two babies share a connection. And David Begnaud travels to another surprise city, one with a wildlife history and a clothing store made famous by the Beach Boys. Can you guess which one? We'll tell you. You're going to find out. You're watching The Uplift. Hey there, I'm Tony DeCopel, and this is The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes, you and me as well. And we're going to begin with a story of forgiveness. Two women brought together by tragedy who found a way to become friends. Here's Steve Hartman.
Nakia Cherry in the black and Stacy Green in the bright may look like besties from way back, but this is a bond born from bitterness.
I love you so much, Miss Stacy. I'm so sorry.
Do a twirl.
4 years earlier, Stacy's mom, Rosie, was killed in a car crash. The other driver, Nakia Cherry, was doing 73 in a 45. Atlanta area police charged her with vehicular homicide, and Stacy was glad to see her suffer.
Yes, I was consumed.
By what?
Anger, sadness, loss.
I mean, Stacy was furious.
Let's see.
Attorneys Jeb Butler and Tom Giannotti represented Stacy in the civil trial, and they made sure to keep the parties in the case apart.
I was worried that if they got together, the result would be incendiary. I was very pleasantly wrong.
Instead, last October, Stacy went up to Nakia in this courthouse. She thought of what her minister mother would say, and then told Nakia, "I forgive you."
And when I forgave her, it's like I was reborn again.
You make it sound like a miracle.
Nothing short.
It was an extraordinary step, but only the first step. From then to now, Stacy has gone so far beyond the words, "I forgive you," to the actions of, "I love you."
She's like a godmama to me. I talk to her every day.
Nakia lost everything after the crash. She now lives in a motel.
So I am committed to her life getting better.
Like how?
So I've helped her with money for food.
You've given her money.
Yes. Rent. I was her daughter's secret Santa. I booked a trip for her to go to Miami for her 40th birthday.
Her attorneys say they've never heard of anything like it.
She's remarkable, remarkable person.
And all that's great. That separates conversation from conviction.
Stacy didn't have to do that. I'm gonna cry.
Actually, Stacy says she did have to do all that, or she could have never forgiven herself.
We gotta make the best out of this situation.
Thank you, Steve. No one better. To our next story. First responders are trained to stay calm under pressure. That's one of the tenets. But one firefighter found herself in a high-pressure situation, delivering babies not once, but twice. And it's a connection those babies share that makes this story truly astounding. Here's CBS Sacramento's Rachel Wolf.
Thank you so much for all your help.
A reunion for two local families as they greeted the Sac Metro fire paramedic, Diana Borsch, for the first time since she helped deliver both of their baby girls.
We did pray for God to protect us and to place all the right people in the delivery room. And God's like, okay, I'll send Diana.
In July 2022, Irina Ivanov had 3 weeks to go when she began having cramps and decided to take a bath.
I told Alex, I was like, you need to call an ambulance. And he was like, no, we can still make it to the hospital. I was like, it's either the bathtub or the hallway.
Borsch arrived just in time to deliver their little girl named Dove. Irina, who works in the medical field, was impressed.
When she came in, she was so professional, so kind, and she told, most of the people there to clear the room just so she can give me some space. And it's so nice.
Then just last month, Diana responded to the call when Irina's sister-in-law, Olivia, went into labor. Also in the bathtub.
She knew what to do. She was very calming, very reassuring, and I felt at ease.
Diana helped deliver baby Evelyn at home. Olivia, so grateful.
I said, do you do this very often? Is this a common thing? And she said, no, not really. And she then looked at my last name and she said, oh, are you related to the other Ivanovs? And I said, oh my gosh, yes, my sister-in-law. And she says, yes. And I was like, oh my goodness, I delivered both of your babies.
A strange coincidence, and in yet another strange circumstance, Diana knew Irina from a mission trip years ago through their churches. Divine intervention? Both women believe so.
It was awesome to know that the same guardian angel that came to us was able to, accompany them.
2 nieces and cousins, born in their own time, in their own place, thanks to the training and good timing of one paramedic.
I feel just humbled, to see the outcome. Everybody's doing good. The babies are beautiful.
Some cuties there. We love that story. All right, coming up, David Begnaud goes to a surprise city known for its marine life, and that leads him to a marine biologist with an inspiring story. We continue now rolling right along, or I should say ice skating, because Michelle Miller at Howard University found a figure skater who broke the ice with other athletes to bring her favorite sport to that HBCU.
Who's stock 2? Oh my goodness.
Junior Maya James achieved her dream of a figure skating team at Howard University by turning to Google to find other skaters, and then skated right into the DMs of senior Cheyenne Walker to break the ice.
I stalked Cheyenne a little bit, Just a little. Just a little, I wouldn't call it stalking, I would call it using her resources and research. Yeah.
Both on skates since the age of 7, Walker grew up training with the group Figure Skating in Harlem. But with no figure skating program at any historically black university like Howard, Walker had to give up the sport she loved to go to the college she wanted.
I loved Howard, but I also wanted to continue to skate. So it was like, which one do I choose?
Together, they set out to change that. But with no ice rink on campus, the pair quickly found forming a team was, well, as hard as landing one of these synchronized jumps.
How do we get ice time? How do we get coaching? How do we do outreach to members on our campus?
With few figure skaters on campus, James and Walker got creative and recruited ice hockey players like sophomore Tony Smith.
Smiling, majestic on the ice. I wasn't like that before, so.
So why did they want you on the team?
Honestly, because it's Howard's first year, there's not a lot of black figure skaters don't come here. They don't know that it's an option.
Smith had been skating since she was 2, but admits this was all new.
There's got to be a difference between hockey skating and figure skating.
Yeah, I'm actually having somewhat of a difficult time.
The team also had a difficult time finding a full-size rink to practice in after they discovered the only indoor public ice rink in the nation's capital currently looked like this, waiting to be rebuilt. So each week, the team pays to rent this rink near the University of Maryland.
Bend your knees.
And between practices at this community rink, the Howard students help others find their footing on skates.
To come and see them just get on the ice and be happy, fall, but laugh. I love that.
Now as Walker graduates, she's leaving James at the helm.
Having this opportunity to lead the club will definitely help her figure out that she has all the potential and that she's able to do everything. So I'm excited.
Why are you crying? It's just so sweet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So sweet?
Yeah.
Because?
I don't know, it has been a lot of work.
Knowing the team is firmly planted.
Do you guys see yourselves as a team being a real contender in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I do actually see us. I think we could definitely be a contender in the future.
Would say so. Thank you, Michelle. All right, coming up now, when a barber in San Francisco found ugly graffiti next to his shop, he came up with an unusual and creative way to combat it. Here's CBS Bay Area's Itay Had.
This longtime San Francisco barber has never been the type to ruffle anyone's feathers. But when faced with unsightly graffiti next to his beloved shop, rather than duck responsibility, Shorty Maniaci hatched a plan.
This was just me messing around and having fun, and it turned out to be something great.
His weapon of choice? Rubber duckies. hundreds of them.
I see a lot of people smile, and I smile every time I look at it.
It all started innocently enough.
Oh, fun, look.
Shorty had some rubber ducks left over from a Halloween party and decided to put them to good use.
Who doesn't love a rubber duck?
Armed with a drill and a vision, he began attaching these funny fowl to the boarded-up business next door. The result, a colorful work of art. So colorful, in fact, it became a hotspot for influencers looking for that extra duck-themed dazzle.
I've never seen like a wall of ducks before, and I just had to take a selfie.
Ooh, I like that one.
All in all, he's got about 700 rubber duckies of all different shapes and colors. There's a pirate, a unicorn, a clown, and some that aren't ducks at all.
I've had people ask me where they come from, China, and tell them I don't know where they migrated from, but they're safe here now.
When someone occasionally spray paints them, Shorty quickly finds a replacement.
What I've noticed more than anything is stilling, which I would love to be the fly on the wall to see that duck cartel.
His unconventional approach has even gotten a stamp of approval from the city.
I loved this. It really cracked me up.
Rachel Gordon is the spokesperson for the San Francisco Department of Public Works. She says the city spends well north of $10 million a year fighting graffiti. Any effort to stop it is welcome, as long as it's legal. Is it legal?
It is legal. So as long as the rubber ducks are not blocking the path of travel, which they're not, they're affixed to the building, they're not blocking, it's not, people don't have to walk out in the middle of the street. It's fine what they did.
The best part, those rubber ducks aren't just good for the neighborhood, they're also good for business.
This was a corner nobody looked at. It's helped, and the ducks have definitely got them to stop looking and go, oh, this place is kind of cool.
Getting out of a hairy situation, now that his barbershop is all the buzz.
Ahead in just a moment, you may have seen this viral video of a horse galloping down a highway, but do you know what happened to that horse? It ends with a rescue and a new name. Video of an escaped horse running down a busy highway in Philadelphia recently went viral, as you would expect it would. It became a new horse after that ordeal, though, and was given a new and appropriate name. Here's CBS Philadelphia's Marcella Baeto with the story.
From galloping on I-95 early on Tuesday morning.
I couldn't believe 95.
Now, how you get down there? To back home at Fletcher Street Urban Riding Club. The highway horse is finally getting a name that fits the viral moment, either 95 North or Freeway.
I say Freeway. Me personally, I-95.
Everybody saying 95. I think I might say Freeway.
But for the club's founder, Ellis Farrell, who picked up the Dutch harness horse after he was caught by police, only one name makes sense.
I like 95 North, so that's where he was going. 95 North.
Once the votes were in, it was time for a couple of young riders and two horseshoes to make the final decision.
We're going to let the kids decide with the horseshoe contest.
It's a name that 16-year-old Tremine Garvin says fits him perfectly.
We all building a bond with the horse because he's a new horse. We want him getting used to people touching him, loving him, caring for him. So he a real fun guy.
Even though the nonprofit isn't completely sure how Freeway was let out, they think vandalism could have played a role in it.
I was thankful that he didn't get hurt, and I'm thankful that he didn't cause no accidents.
They're also thankful that the whole situation is leading more people to know about the free riding opportunities for kids and the history of black horsemen in Philly.
This is a worse nightmare to have a horse on 95. But at the same time, it's kind of been like a blessing in bringing awareness to the work that we're trying to do.
Love that ending. All right, coming up, we had a ticket to a surprise city and an assignment to find a story within 48 hours. That was what David Begnaud faced. Where did he go? Here's a hint. It's got a lot of marine life, and that's what led David to his story. For his Surprise Cities series on CBS Mornings, David Begnaud is given a plane ticket and a mission to travel to a surprise location and find a story. Well, where did he go this time? What did he find? Here's David to show us.
Here we go. Hello, sir.
Good to see you.
Official documents.
Okay, here we go.
Right here.
Monterey. Oh. It's a pretty quick trip from Los Angeles to Monterey, right along California's central coast. Here we go. Known for blue waters brimming with wildlife and the world-famous Monterey Bay Aquarium. My team surprised me with a private early morning tour led by program director Natalia Hurley.
Thanks for coming here.
Never been.
Oh, wow, even better. We love first-timers.
Let me tell you, I was mesmerized.
It's almost meditative to look at.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is he floating on his back?
Oh, yeah. These otters here take turns being surrogate moms to orphaned wild pups and then re-released out into the wild.
Hi. Renee Carbajal, a senior aquarist here,
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
cares for the octopus.
She might want to get a meal.
Let me tell you, he let me get so close.
Oh, it feels so weird. It's like she's holding my hand.
She is.
I got to feed an octopus breakfast, y'all.
Hey, you're hired. When I come in the mornings, I'll play my salsa music, and she recognizes, oh, there's Renee.
Where are you from?
I was born in Mexico City.
Oh.
I went back to school in my late 30s. I graduated in marine biology.
You did,
at
wow.
UCLA. I have one of the best jobs in the world.
Well, after that wild start to the day, I made my way down Cannery Row. In the early 20th century, it was where workers, mostly immigrants, canned sardines to be shipped around the world. The literary giant John Steinbeck captured the flavor of that life in his 1945 novel. Today, his statue stands where the tourists flock.
We knew it was you. You knew it was me. You were right. Where are y'all from?
I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona.
That was fun, but look, the clock was ticking. We only had 48 hours, and I wanted to do a little shopping.
We've never been shopping on one of our Surprise City stores. This is a first. I love it.
Pendleton shirts rose to popularity in the 60s.
If everybody had
Thanks to the Beach Boys.
across the USA.
Next, I popped into a bike shop.
Don't look so surprised. I've got an English accent.
These are some nice bikes.
Thank you.
Owner Martin Watson helped me pick out some wheels.
I'm fired up.
Yeah, you should be.
Fired up.
I'm fired up too.
With Watson and his bike-loving pup Bella, we took in these spectacular views.
You can smell the trees, the grass. This is unique.
Yeah,
you see them?
Oh,
yeah.
I left the wheels with him and headed to the Monterey Library, which was the very first in California.
It's been a while since I've been to a library.
Brian Edwards, the library and museum director, took me to Colton Hall because California's Constitution was created right here in 1849.
It was the first state constitution debated in English and in Spanish.
What were they debating? What was the debate?
Women's rights, whether it was going to be a slave state or not.
So California was progressive from the get-go.
From the get-go, from the very beginning.
Edwards sees Monterey as the birthplace of California. It felt like time stopped as we quietly explored the vital wetlands with naturalist Marina Mays.
Hear all that chatter?
Yeah.
But as I moved forward, I kept coming back to Renee Carbajal. It was his humility, his story, the way he connected me with that octopus. I thought, David, he's your story.
This is cha-cha-cha.
When I got there to surprise him, he was playing salsa music for the octopus he calls Chica.
Look at this. This is wild.
Like
No pun intended.
Best friend ever.
I can't eat calamari again.
She's just watching me, kind of like, okay, let's hang together.
After spending almost 48 hours looking for people, I want to make you the story.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I see you. Do you know what I loved? I loved your passion.
Thank you. And that's how I feel every day, really. That connectivity with the animal, it's just, it takes me somewhere else. And there is nothing more beautiful at that moment than that time. Having that time together makes me forget about everything else in the world.
He grew up in Mexico and moved with his family to Los Angeles in the early 2000s. 6 people shared a 1-bedroom apartment. But he says he was happy, hopeful, and determined.
Your first job in LA was doing what?
I will make the hamburgers, I will clean the floors, and learning the language and working hard.
As a hobby, he bought a small reef tank and and so began his passion for sea life. He learned to scuba dive, then took out loans to become the first in his family to go to college.
Honestly, I got a lot of doors that shut down in front of my face. One of my professors said that you just have to be a grain in the sand that is more shiny than the other ones, and that will get you there. And I
A grain in the sand more shiny than the other ones. That's a good piece of advice.
I thought I could do it and never give up, and this is where I am.
Passion-fueled and results-driven, Carbajal became a United States citizen. He met his wife Joanna in Monterey, and together they are raising 2 octopus-loving little girls.
You want to give her another shrimpy?
I wanted to take you in and play with you.
I know.
You know, growing up here in America, when you meet people like you who had to start from scratch, what do you love about being here in America?
The things that I love the most, I guess, is freedom. I grew up in Mexico City in a very poor neighborhood, one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And when I look back, you know, all the struggles I went through, and I just feel so lucky, and this is what I love the most, just enjoy life every day, one day at a time.
And that, my friends, is the lesson for all of us. Find what you love, and if you can find a job doing it, it'll never feel like work.
I love your story. Love your story.
Thank you, David.
That is our show. I feel that way about my job. I hope we brightened your day. I hope we lifted you up. If for some reason we let you down, well, reruns, they are free. Go ahead and press play. I'm gonna go find some more good news.